I get a lot of honorary names, and I appreciate being an honorary Indian now, so I'm going to count that as a compliment. So as Srini said, my name's Rachel Jagoda Brunette, and I really appreciate TiE Silicon Valley inviting me back to join you again this year, and for the great introduction. I'm a program officer with the Lemelson Foundation, which is a family foundation out of Portland, Oregon. It's the only charitable foundation in the country, actually in the world, focused exclusively on using the power of invention to improve lives. We were founded by one of the most prolific inventors in US history, Jerome Lemelson, and his wife, Dorothy. When they launched the foundation, it was because Jerry and Dorothy knew the power of invention to improve lives and felt that it was essential to a strong and vibrant future. I realize I have this thing that I don't know how to work, so we'll just pretend. They recognize that invention is essential to meeting the world's needs in coming decades and is the backbone of a strong economy. The foundation was created to cultivate a robust pipeline of young inventors who will be the driving force behind growth and progress. We've had the honor of working with educators and inventors around the world who share our commitment to robust invention and entrepreneurship ecosystems. I'd like to share a bit with you about our vision for how engaging youth can lead to solving the greatest challenges of our time through invention and entrepreneurship. I don't think I'm doing that. There we go. I'm going to start by letting everyone in here in on a little secret. The people in this room right now are the most important people at this whole conference. Don't tell anyone out there. Some of you are students, some of you are educators or parents, and some of you are just interested in supporting youth throughout their entrepreneurial journey. But all of you play a vital role in the ecosystem that helps creative and motivated youth use their abilities to address problems worth solving and live happier, more fulfilled lives. Some people are born inventors and entrepreneurs. Some are propelled by their own conviction and sometimes succeed against the odds through a combination of hard work, privilege, and luck. But many successful businesses are built by people who never might have started down that pathway if they hadn't had an educational experience or a mentor who helped them see that their ideas were worthwhile and that they were capable of moving those ideas forward. And that's why the Lemelson Foundation has supported invention education programs for the last 20+ years. We believe that we can spur more young people to become inventors and entrepreneurs to achieve impact if we work to provide educational experiences that unleash and cultivate the natural inventive and entrepreneurial spirit of youth. So what is invention education? We've learned over the years that there's a suite of tools that students need to understand how to learn to invent. The first is problem identification. Students must cultivate the capacity to think critically and identify real-world problems and possible solutions in the user's context through questioning, empathy, idea generation, and design process thinking. They also need a strong base of knowledge and skills necessary to invent, including science, technology, engineering, math, as well as building and prototyping. And they need the ability to learn to turn their ideas into solutions through entrepreneurial thinking, which includes user-centered design, communications, and management skills. Skills aren't the only thing that turns someone into an inventor. Mindset and motivations are also a critical part of this journey. Creativity, empathy, and persistence in the face of failure are absolutely crucial. And today's young people, thankfully for all of us, are most motivated by a desire to change the world for the better. Unfortunately, our current educational systems do not take advantage of students' inherent altruism and curiosity. Cultivating these mindsets and motivations is key to invention education and helps lead students down a path towards something that we call impact invention. All invention starts with identifying a problem. Impact invention starts with identifying a problem worth solving. Those problems can be in your community, or they can be global in nature. The common characteristics are that these inventions must have social impact, they must be environmentally responsible, and they must be financially self-sustaining. The late Professor Bert Swersey, who taught many successful inventor entrepreneurs in a course at Rensselaer Polytechnic in New York, put it this way: don't do nonsense. We have all seen products in the news recently that might be considered nonsense. I won't name names. But there are also some amazing products that have been invented by young people that are truly improving the world. Biodegradable styrofoam replacements grown from mushrooms, spores, and agricultural waste. Breathing support devices for newborns in developing countries who otherwise might not see the first year of life. Medical diagnostics for use in remote, impoverished villages. Invention is a complex task. You may be asking yourself whether it's realistic for a young person to develop a new invention with the potential to change the world. I want to share a brief video about a young woman in Massachusetts that'll give you a sense of what students are truly capable of.
I had no interest in science and engineering going into high school. I actually really hated it. Inventeam had an effect on my education that I don't think any other program really could have. It exposed me to real engineering problems and the real engineering process. From there, that became what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
Everybody got your feedback?
We're seeing invention sort of being an entry point and magnet for STEM education. When they get involved in the teamwork and get really into creating their invention, we find that they discover that this really is for them, and a lot have gone on to pursue STEM college and career pathways.
We were originally approached by our local fire department dive team who wanted some sort of search and rescue ROV to come with them on search dives that they have to do routinely in some of the ponds in our area. And we decided that since ice diving is such an issue in our area that we kind of wanted to take it one step further. We were spending countless hours a week in the lab.
Over time, I saw the excitement that they had for it. It became more about them and their ability to think at a higher level, identify problems, and come up with solutions. I was asking them to leave the shop at night.
Seeing it the first time actually move and respond to the controller, I didn't actually believe that it was happening. Hey! It was a truly indescribable experience. I felt so proud of the machine and of the rest of the team.
Programs like Invent Teams are showing how invention education can transform the life of individual kids. So they're inspired, they feel creatively empowered, they go on to take on careers that make them into problem solvers.
She says this is an interesting idea that I've never heard of before.
I was fortunate to have 2 female students on the Invent team. They were able to bring their STEM education to the next level. And as a result, we have increased to a lot more females in my STEM classes here at Natick High School.
Mr. Scott was really great about reaching out to me and a lot of other women in the school. We do need many more people in engineering disciplines, and there are a lot of great minds who are being steered away from it. I would not be sitting where I am right now had it not been for Mr. Scott's efforts. I'm a freshman at MIT. I'm planning to declare mechanical engineering with a focus in biomechanics, and I would really love to work in healthcare technology someday. Inventeam's experience affected my education in a way that really no other program could have. You're presenting your ideas to the real world, and that has real consequences in a really great way. It's a really incredible experience.
So Caitlin's not the only student inventor creating a meaningful product. In my hometown of Portland, Oregon, the TiE Young Entrepreneurs program is off to an incredible start. Students are inventing products ranging from mobile diagnostic devices for cardiac disease to innovative shoes that save money for student athletes. The Lemelson Foundation has partnered with TiE Oregon because we share their vision for a future defined by the work of young inventors. Their approach, which begins with problem identification and ideation and then moves into prototyping, is a perfect model for invention education. And because they are using invention education as a launching point for entrepreneurship, Their participants are inventing real products with the potential to become real companies. This is where TiE Oregon and the other TiE chapters hosting TiE programs can move the needle on creating the next generation of inventors and entrepreneurs. Building a business plan is an important skill, but when that business plan has a real product behind it, suddenly students see their own potential for making a difference and carving their own path in life. I've seen this with the approach that TiE Oregon uses, and I would love to see this entire organization put its considerable resources and energy towards bringing invention experiences to youth all over the world. Another component of TiE Oregon's success comes from their deliberate efforts to bring invention and entrepreneurship education to students who are often excluded from those types of experiences because of poverty, geography, or other social and economic barriers. TiE Oregon brought its curriculum straight into some of the most challenged schools in Portland. They worked with students who were on the verge of failing or dropping out, students who had few dreams for the future. They told those students that their problems mattered and were worth solving. They told those students that they didn't have to say, "I wish someone would invent," but rather, "I am going to invent." They told those students that they didn't have to aspire to work for someone else. They could build their own future. The TiE Oregon team believed in those students, and they helped the students believe in themselves. And that is how we build a sustainable, successful, motivated generation of entrepreneurs. As entrepreneurs and educators, you are in a position to lead by example and focus your work on problems worth solving. As we heard during the social entrepreneurship track earlier today, your business can focus on improving lives and still be profitable. Many of the examples that we have seen from the Lemelson Foundation's partners have been quite successful. Ecovative, for example, the company that produces the styrofoam alternative from mushrooms, has raised over $22 million in investments and is generating millions in annual revenue. So if you're part of a TiE chapter with the Young Entrepreneurs Program, I encourage you to get involved by mentoring a student or finding a local high-needs school to which you can bring the TiE Young Entrepreneurs curriculum. If you're part of a chapter that doesn't have a TYE program yet, I challenge you to start one. And the young entrepreneurs and inventors here today can help too. I want you to tell your friends about your ideas and let them know that building an invention-based business is in their reach. You can inspire your peers. And the more students who are inspired to become impact inventors and entrepreneurs, the brighter the future will be for all of us. Not every student will become an inventor or an entrepreneur, but every child, no matter where they come from, should have the opportunity to explore whether invention is their passion. Every child should have the opportunity to gain the creative confidence that comes with solving a problem through invention and realizing that they can take their ideas to impact through entrepreneurship. Those with the drive to invent and launch companies should be supported along every step of their journey. Thank you very much for your time today. I'm so excited to hear the lineup of inspirational speakers and young people that we've got coming after me. If you'd like to learn more about the Lemelson Foundation's work, you can find me at any point or visit our website at lemelson.org. And with that, I'd be happy to answer a few questions as long as we have some time. So I think there's a microphone in the back, but yes, Nitin.
Do you want to talk about the curriculum that TiE Oregon's created, which is now available on the global website? I think that may be interesting to talk about.
Okay. As Nitin mentioned, the curriculum that TiE Oregon has created is now available on the global website. But I'll just give you a little bit of background as to why someone from a foundation is up here saying that. So TiE Oregon was the very first of the TYE chapters that really embraced invention as a mechanism for inspiring students along their entrepreneurial journey. Obviously, we think that invention and invention of tangible products is a pathway to impact. But what we also saw from the work that TiEcon is doing is that creating actual products has really been a great way to bring in students who might otherwise feel that entrepreneurship is out of reach or is not necessarily within their interest area. And so we funded them to create a curriculum that's actually for any educators in here, NGSS and Common Core aligned, that can fit into the school day. And so actually bring invention and entrepreneurship into a math class or a science class or a business class that a high school might be holding, and really show students that the work that they're doing in high school has a pathway towards entrepreneurship. And so we've been encouraging other TiE chapters to take a look at it because we don't believe in reinventing the wheel. We support invention, but not necessarily that. And definitely would encourage anyone who's interested to take a look at what's available on the website and see if Invention is a good fit for the work that they're doing. And I'm sure Nitin would be happy to answer questions about that as well.
I'm Perry Mistry, or Purushottam Mistry, chemical engineer specializing in material science and chemistry.
I'm sorry?
I'm Perry Mistry at San Jose, California. And what I see is the good work which you are doing needs to have an acceleration like a hockey stick. And I attended a NASA conference in 2015, and it was from 2015 to 2065, in 50 years, the global population will reach to $10 billion. And we will need roti, kapda, makan, and education. So it is RKME. So roti is agriculture, kapda is clothing, makan is housing and shelter, and E is for education. So how can the work which you are doing, how can it be, has a profile of a hockey stick profile of acceleration?
Yeah, well, those problems are really what underpin the concept of impact invention. We, a few years ago, took a step back and really looked at what types of inventions matter to the world and to the population that we're trying to reach. And we saw that we don't want to just see products being invented for the sake of existing. You know, we live in a resource-constrained world, and we want to see invention contributing to the betterment of that world, not necessarily just there to make money for someone. And so that's why we've been encouraging in all of our programs a focus on impact invention, which is products that have an environmentally positive footprint, some positive social contributions, but while they're still sustainable financially so that people are able to create a business and care for themselves and their families while they're working on these products. So, you know, we definitely share that concern. We see that resource constraints are going to be a driving force behind pretty much everything anyone does, and so we see invention as playing a huge role in that. I can just repeat it.
Can you talk about your, do you have a partnership with MIT and possibly with other schools?
Sure, so we have a couple of partnerships to highlight within institutions of higher education. The MIT partnership, which we'll be hearing perhaps a little bit more about in a few minutes, was actually created by Jerome and Dorothy Lemelson as one of the initial grants that the foundation made. That partnership actually spans K-12 education, higher education, and entrepreneurship by supporting and recognizing inventors at all of those stages. The Invent Teams program that was in the video is the K-12 component of that. We also give recognition prizes to undergraduate and graduate student inventors that come with a little incentive to help elevate and amplify their impact and the awareness of the work that they're doing to other university students. And then finally, we do a prize annually for a mid-career inventor that is a $500,000 prize, and I think we'll be hearing from one of the winners of that prize in just a couple of minutes. And then our other higher education partnership is with another grantee that was a brainchild of Jerome Lemelson's called VentureWell. VentureWell is an association of about 300 colleges and universities that support student entrepreneurs on their campuses and also support faculty to create invention and entrepreneurship courses. So if any of you are in college, I definitely definitely encourage you to look up VentureWell and see if you want to leverage the resources that they have to help actually launch a business with an idea you have. And I think that was all the time we have. So again, thank you to Silicon Valley for the invitation. Really excited to see what's coming up next.